Hi everyone, welcome to the Sun Bookshop's recommendations from our places to yours. Almost out of, well, kind of out of isolation. The ring of steel's nearly broken, everything's going great. I would like to talk to you today about Helen Garner's new collection of from her diaries. This is 1987 to 1995. I adored her first diaries, The Yellow Notebook. In fact, I love Helen Garner since I first read Monkey Grip and all the way up to her more recent non-fiction, The House of Grief, which I just thought was incredible. So this is her diaries. It's just little snippets from her life and her observing parts of life around her. It's at a turbulent time in her life. Her daughter has grown up and moved out of home. Helen is involved with a married man who eventually she does marry over this period of time. She is writing The First Stone, which is, of course, controversial. She started to write that. There's so much going on, and it is so glorious to read it. I couldn't stop. It's so bizarre to think someone's diary could be so fascinating, but Helen Garner's is. So that's all I've got to say. Serena Gale, welcome.
Thanks, Deb. Hello, everyone. I am talking about Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. This is her debut novel, but her first book was a memoir. I loved this so much. I didn't quite know what to expect as I hadn't read anything by her, but it is this wonderful rom-com type story about a 32-year-old woman called Nina who is a food writer. She's managed to scrape enough money together to buy a very small flat in London. So she's sort of got her dream job. She does a lot of freelance. She's kind of, you know, professionally she's in a really good place, but romantically not so great. And so she goes on a lot of internet dates. She meets a guy, they fall madly in love. You sort of think this is going to be a wonderful love story, and then he completely ghosts her. And so then there's the fallout of that. There's her sidekick best friend who is hilarious. And there's also her parents who live outside of London, and her father is in the grips of, I guess, early stages of dementia. So there's a family kind of drama and beautiful family relationships that she's dealing with, but also sadness and grief about her dad, who she's very close to. There's her best friends are all settling down, having babies, getting married. She's nowhere near that. It's just such a real life, sharply observed, wry, funny, it's like a big warm hug. And I just feel like this could be a very good book for under the Christmas tree. So loved it.
Claire.
Hello, I'm going to talk about Sofia Laguna's Infinite Splendours. This is a glorious book. It is realistic, sometimes a bit too realistic. It has the sense that sometimes you want to look through closed eyes. I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to stop. Sofia Laguna has an amazing way of introducing you to characters who are not necessarily in great situations and having you root for them. And in this case, this is a first-person narrative, and so you get all the unreliability that comes with the I voice. And the reader knows sometimes more than the main character Lawrence does. So Lawrence and his younger brother live on a property with their mother, and their father was a war hero in the Second World War, and all he is a medal on a shelf in an empty bedroom, and that's been their male role model. And their mum's brother comes to stay, and it looks like there's going to be a new male role model, but he doesn't stay very long. The consequences of his stay, though, reverberate through the rest of his life. And this story follows him for many, many years, and you keep turning the page thinking you know what might happen, and then not sure, and then it twists and turns just a little bit more. It's a gripping, fabulous read, not necessarily easy, but well and truly worthwhile. And that's what I've got to say.
Thank you, Claire. And thanks everyone for listening to us. And will we come back? I don't know. Do you think we should? we're almost COVID normal. Bye. Sun Bookshop signing off.